Thanks for joining us for the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Strategic share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. I'd like to introduce you to my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
Hey, Jimmy, thanks for that warm and kind introduction. To all those listening,
Enthusiastic introduction.
Enthusiastic, and thank for everyone listening. Call me Shatsy. Together, we are the personalities behind Branded Strategic Hospitality. As you know, we work at the intersection of hospitality, technology, innovation, emerging brands, automation, robotics, mergers and acquisitions, capital advisory, media, and all things integration.
Wow.
We are super excited. Jimmy, I am feeling really warm and fuzzy today because it's Valentine's Day, probably my third or fourth most favorite holiday of all the holidays. You know, it's like Christmas, Hanukkah. I mean, Valentine's Day is right there. Am I right? I mean, it's just a great day, right?
I go my wife's birthday. I go Mother's Day. I go Valentine's Day. I go anniversary. Those are my four. But Chatsy, you go Christmas and Hanukkah. You use those. Go ahead. Go for it.
And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Passover's right there for me. Passover, a good one too. You know,
you're on your own. I need a new story.
It's a very exciting time, Jimmy. I don't know if you know this. We have now. This is over 100 episodes. I think 112 or something like that. But over 100 episodes of the Hospitality Hangout. We launched this back in, I don't know, was it 1987? I don't think podcasts were even around when we launched this baby. But that's
it was a little more recent than that. A little more recent.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, Jimmy, I'm excited about Valentine's Day. I'm excited about our guest. We have a guest on. I think it is probably our guest today has hosted, has been on. He has co-hosted, guest host. This is his 10th time on. This is the longest reigning guest. Before we get to that, because we got a great show, and of course it is Valentine's Day, and I'm feeling warm and fuzzy. Jimmy, you know, we've officially launched Boom.store. Jimmy, it is officially launched.
Boom.
Yeah, we are super excited. And Boom is it's live. It's connecting operators with technology, ratings, reviews, onboarding. We are super excited. And what else? Boom is also a proud sponsor of the podcast. Boom is a proud sponsor of the Hospitality Hangout, Jimmy.
How did we ever get them to sponsor? How did we ever pull that off?
Chico said no.
Oh yeah, Chico.
They were done. Chico said no. The bail bond company is off to. They're sponsoring the Super Bowl, I think, this year actually, or they sponsored the Super Bowl. I think, if I remember, the Super Bowl was just a couple days ago.
Yes, way to go, Chico.
That was great. But anyway, we're super excited about Boom. Great to have them as our sponsor. Jimmy, let's kick into it because it's a great episode.
Yes, I do think we have a special episode. So while I'd love to do the self-promotion of talking about Boom, I'm too fired up. We have a great guest. We have some great news that we're going to be breaking. So we're excited today. It's Valentine's Day, and we want to bring back a guest that we all know and love, who has a special place in our hearts. And I'm telling you, that is sincere. This guest will be sharing some exciting news about two companies who also have great love for one another, so much so that they're joining hearts and forces. With that being said, our guest today is our friend.
How do you make it start with your fingers? How do you do that? People always do that. Like, how do you do that?
You know what?
Sterling did it so easy. I couldn't figure it out. There you go. Look at that.
I'm doing something with my fingers now to you, but it's a little bit different, okay? It's a little different. Okay?
That's not nice. That's not a heart, Jimmy.
That's right. Okay, listen. We have our friend, our partner, our recurring co-host, Mr. Sterling Douglas, CEO and co-founder of Chowly, and more fondly referred to here on the Hangout as the Technology Guy. So, Sterling, welcome back. Sats, I know you're excited.
He got his 10-year hat, Jimmy. He's wearing his 10-year hat.
Wear the 10-year.
Thanks for sending that in the mail.
10th episode hat. I apologize. 10th episode hat you get.
10th episode hat. Listen, before we let Sterling finally break in, because so far Shatz and I are doing all the chit-chatting, we're gonna talk about our Trivia Tuesday, which is a new segment that we've launched, not to be confused with Taco Tuesdays, but Trivia Tuesday. Each week we share a fun trivia question about our guest. But here's the catch. You have to stick around to the end of the episode to find out the answer. This week's Trivia Tuesday, we're going to play the game Two Truths and a Lie. Shatz, if you don't know how it works, I'm going to list 3 facts about Sterling, although 2 of them are true, 1 of them is false, and here we go.
Oh, wait a minute, Jimmy. Are these
Yes.
factoids? Are these factoids?
On the Hangout, it's called facts, and when I speak in more casual nature, it's factoids.
When you're doing your
Factoids.
bagger
Factoids.
hat, when your bagger hat's on, you're
Yes,
factoiding?
factoids.
Yeah,
Here we go.
okay.
Fact 1. Sterling has won 7 eating challenges and has his picture on the wall at several restaurants.
That's ridiculous. He's like too skinny for that.
He's 145 pounds soaking wet, I tell you. All right.
Exactly, soaking wet.
Okay. Fact 2. Sterling has completed 2 Ironman races.
No way. Absolutely not. I've seen him. He couldn't run up the stairs. No way.
Fact 3. At the beginning of every NFL season, Sterling can name the entire 53-man starting roster for the Chicago Bears. Okay, fact 1, eating contest. Fact 2, Ironman races. Fact 3, the Bears. So, Shatsy, what do you think of these things? What do you think of these factoids?
I mean, I'm going to wait till the end to tell you, but I mean, I think 2 were lies, to be honest with you.
All right, well, we'll soon.
Maybe producer screwed up.
Maybe we call this 1 truth and 2 lies. Okay, Sterling, we've bantered, we've chit-chatted. Our guests will stick around, our listeners will stick around to the end of the episode to find out which of the facts, which are true, which are false. And Sterling, we'll let you take the lead for our listeners. Please, of course, introduce or reintroduce Chowly, our second investment that Brandon made to help launch this company. We've been loving everything you're doing, but please introduce yourself and Chowly, and thrilled to have you on the show with us, my friend.
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me again. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to tell a couple fun facts and 1 fun lie. Look,
I think they're 2 lies, but we'll go ahead. We'll find it.
Look, 10 times on the show. Seriously, you said almost 100. That means you have subjected your listeners 10% of the time to hearing my voice.
You are Steve Martin.
Yes.
Like a whole SNL, right?
As Steve Martin is to SNL, Sterling Douglas, the technology guy, is to the Hangout.
So not just thank you for today, but thank you for always welcoming me to the show and giving me an opportunity to, look, this is our first, I think this is my first interview. This is going to be our first posting since the big news. So thank you for, giving me kind of the microphone and the opportunity here.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was going to say that we love nothing more than breaking news. So I can't wait to tell everybody about the breaking news because we are, I think, I'd like to say we are the CNBC of podcasts. Am I right, Jimmy?
I think that's right. Yeah. David Faber, we're the CNBC of podcasts. I like them apples.
Yeah.
Like apples, David? I like them apples.
Hey, maybe CNBC is the branded podcast of TV, you don't know which way it goes.
Well, it's a glorious day for Chowly, so you let us know. We can break that news.
All right. Well, look, Chowly, as a reminder, for the listeners, Chowly's a leading point-of-sale integration company. We're enabling restaurants to expand and maintain different off-premise capabilities. So, today we're seamlessly integrating orders from all the biggest platforms. So Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, when Google Food Ordering came out last year, and we've got a couple hundred other integrations on different platforms that we have. We're taking that and putting that right into the restaurant's point of sale system. So where they're avoiding tablet hell, they don't have to worry about manually keying in menu data or order data on all these different screens. It's all programmatic. Today, we've got over 12,000 restaurants on our platform, and they're increasing their revenue, they're improving their operational flow, and they're saving on labor costs. And that's who Chowly is today.
That's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely great.
It's pretty unbelievable. I remember when we met Sterling quite a few years ago, they only had 2 restaurants on the platform, Jimmy, just 2. And so we were super excited that they went from 2 restaurants to over 12,000 restaurants in just a few short years. So it's really awesome. All right, listen, let's jump into it. It's Valentine's Day. There's a lot of love going on between Jimmy, Sterling, and myself because it is Valentine's Day. Jimmy's wearing his red hat and red shirt. Looks great. Breaking news. Okay, today is now, Jimmy, we are renaming Valentine's Day today here on the podcast. Hospitality Hangout is officially calling this now Chowly Day.
Chowly Day,
Jimmy. Yes, this is Chowly Day, the new holiday. Super excited. Hallmark has embraced it. They've already have a whole line of beautiful Chowly Day cards coming out. Go on to hallmark.com and check out the Chowly New Day cards. Also another sponsor. And Sterling, give us the breaking news. We can't hold on anymore. Jimmy is dying right now to understand why You must be on the podcast. I have breaking news. Jimmy's like, why? I'm like, Jimmy, he can't tell us. He wants to break it on the hospitality hangout. What the hell is going on? Don't tell me another baby. Not another baby.
Not another baby, but instead, it's with great pleasure and excitement. We've closed on a deal.
I had a baby like a month ago. That would be nuts.
It's with great pleasure and excitement to announce we've closed a deal to bring Koala, which is an online ordering company with a absolutely stellar, best-in-class guest experience platform under the Chowly umbrella. We are combining forces. We are the same company, and we're going to be bringing an amazing product to the space. And I can't be more excited about what the future brings, for these two companies and what we can do together.
I love it. So is it going to be called Chowly Koala?
Yeah, the Chowala, I think, is definitely one of the working names that's been going around. But
Chowly ate the koala?
No, I love the Koala brand. I'm trying to think of all the different ways that we can really implement it. I mean, look, koalas are a real cute animal, and I think it's awesome what they've built.
And I got to tell you something, just to get a little nostalgic. I always loved your original logo was a dog. Yeah, and then someone changed it and got all cool with swooshes and things like that. And now I look at Koala's cute little logo and it reminds me of the old dog Chowly logo. I don't know, maybe there's something there. Maybe bring the Koala the dog back.
There's a whole zoo of animals, on one of the branding frameworks. We'll see what we can do.
All right, listen, this is a very exciting, thrilled, Sterling.
Chowly Day, Jimmy. It's Chowly Day.
It's Chowly Day. Congratulations to you, your partners, and all the folks over at Koala for this coming together. For those who know me, okay, and for those who are thankful, less than thankful, or otherwise to get emails from me, including the branded weekend update, I sign off on almost every single email with the tagline or the quote, "It takes a village," and it's something I truly believe in. I believe community is important. I believe these are things that coming together and working with people is really important. Brandon takes it seriously. So given how important we believe the community is, it's music to our ears that you're expanding your village and adding Koala to your tribe. Can you tell us, though, why Koala?
Yeah, it's a cute logo, Jimmy. We already talked about it.
Yeah, the logo is definitely key in that. Look, guys, we've been evaluating this digital ordering market since we started, 7 years ago, and we've seen a lot of companies come and go. When we first started, companies like Toast, only had a few hundred locations. Now, they're publicly traded. We've been following Olo for a while, and we've seen a lot. And our mission since day one has always been simplify technology for restaurants, right? How can we help, especially our independent operators and SMB restaurants, thrive? So when we were looking at the space, and we've seen a lot of the progress that's been made in the enterprise groups and the ordering experiences that you're seeing from the McDonald's and the Chipotles of the world, kind of had this question really banging around in my head for the last year or so, and that's, why don't SMB restaurants have access to the same level of technology that enterprise restaurants do?
We can't afford it, Sterling. It's just not affordable for us.
I don't think it's about price. What I found is that it's really about integration.
Integration, Sterling. We don't have the integrations we need.
And it's hard, right? Like, in the enterprise space, you look at point of sale in particular, there's a couple players, right? You look at the SMB space, I mean, there's 50, there's 100 of them. And so when we kind of looked at enterprise, we looked at the Olos and Alohas of the world. I was trying to think, well, who is that playing that role in the SMB space? And I was like, oh, that's us. That's actually Chowly. Like, Chowly is actually playing that role. And so when the opportunity came up that we could bring Koala in, I just thought that this was the best move for our customers, for our company. And what my favorite part about Koala, and I think one of the defining moments when I was learning more about them, was their mission.
Back to the logo again. We already talked about that. We know the cute little panda bear, Koala bear, was number one.
We know the logo is great, but the mission statement is what really spoke to me. Like, their mission statement is to democratize premium online ordering for restaurants.
Jimmy, write that down. I'm going to steal that.
And so when I thought about what we could do in combination with them, And, they've done a great job with companies like Shake Shack and Mod Pizza and PF Chang's. If we could bring that experience and the revenue generators and the features that they have, and we could bring that to the mom and pop and to the independent operator, I thought, what better way could we help accelerate that aspirational mission that they have? And so that was just a really big, moment throughout this process that I really wanted to sync up. And look, a couple of months later, here we are.
That is awesome, and thank you. Listen, I want to go back to my previous comment, how it takes a village. Something else etched in Brandon's ethos is that we really don't believe that we have competition. And that's not said with any arrogance or hubris. We just don't feel, as someone who plays nice in the sandbox, we don't look at our competition as enemies. We look at them as colleagues. We look at them as ways in which we can come together to create value. And at the end of the day, what I love about Chowly, what I love about Koala, what I love that Brandon gets to do is be very operator-centric and really focus on what creates value for the operator. And that's what I love that Chowly does, and how helpful you've been to restaurants. I'm sure Koala is going to be helping you tremendously. I also appreciate that this industry, and I'm going to use a bad word, Chatsy. I apologize. Earmuffs.
Earmuffs, Sterling. Earmuffs. Everyone earmuffs. Go ahead. Throw it out there, Jimmy.
As somebody who's come from another industry where, let's say, the asshole factor was higher.
There it is. He did it.
One of the things I love about this industry is the asshole factor is really low. That's why I get to be so happy all the time. I'm having a good time. It makes it so much easier to play nice in the sandbox with others and this industry, because there is so much community and sharing in it. But the point now I'm trying to bring up is that I know Koala has a really tight relationship with, drumroll please, Olo, has a really tight relationship with Olo. They're actually one of, I believe, 2 platinum partners at Olo. And Chowly kind of, sort of, maybe competes a little bit with Olo. So I think that's a fair statement. Can you share how you look at Olo as a partner and not as a competitor? That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah, and you look
Just
at the
while to get there.
Well, Jimmy, you haven't had a short comment in 30 years.
Let me tell you about that. No,
it only took him 15 minutes and 2 explicit words, but he got the question.
I got there.
No, it's a great question. Something that we thought about a lot too, is when we were kind of evaluating, combining forces here. They're one of 2 platinum platform certified partners. One of 2. Olo has over 300 partners, and only 2
platinum certified. Yep.
It cost them a fortune to get that certification, Jimmy.
It speaks really to the great infrastructure that they have on the technical side. But look, I mean, this is all over the restaurant space. You've got online ordering companies that have acquired, third-party marketplace integrators. You've got third-party marketplaces that have acquired. I mean, DoorDash bought Bbot. You've got Lunchbox acquired Novodyne. Toast has a really big partner ecosystem, and they have their own products that compete with those too. This kind of co-opetition is really common in the restaurant space. But
that's a good one, Chatsy. Co-opetition. That's a good one.
Oh, I couldn't even spell that one. A lot of O's in that one.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I like that. Go ahead. Sorry.
So when you look at kind of the co-opetition in the space, one of the first things I jump to is what is the ethos? What is the personality of this technology company? Are they merchant first, right? Do they do what's best for the merchant, or do they always prioritize what's best for themselves? And Olo has shown time and time again they do what's best for the merchant. Olo is technically actually a partner of Chowly's today. They acquired a company called Omnivore last year. Omnivore is a Chowly partner. Omnivore also had a competing product to Chowly. And Olo handled that super well. We had great communication throughout that process. And we saw, what was best for the merchants. Some of the merchants, it made more sense for them to just come into the Chowly house. Some of them it made more sense to kind of go on to the Olo Rails product. And look, over the years, Olo's done some amazing things. Noah's been a great thought leader in the space. And Noah and I have shared the stage at some of the biggest conferences. And there's nothing but respect that we have. And to be frank, look, Koala clients that are on Olo today, everything's going to stay the same. Like Chowly's always been an open platform, and what's best for the merchant is where we're always going to, kind of draw the line. So, there's going to be no requirement that, everyone's got to move over to Chowly or anything like that. In fact, we want to continue to work with Ola and see how we can make, that integration even better. We're one of two, they're going to be one of two platinum partner certified. How do we make it one of one to go even a step further and really provide, the best experience? And from our side, what we really see the future is this acquisition is all about us democratizing premium online ordering and bringing it to the SMB market. And that's what we really want to do, is help these independent operators who don't have enough firepower to compete with enterprises. And I want to make sure that SMB restaurants that have Chowly punch above their weight class. That's the goal we have.
I love it. So let's take a deeper dive into the SMB space. Emerging brands, these young brands, and how important these young brands with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 units, how important they are to the young emerging tech companies. I mean, we always joke about the big brands, and the guys I'm talking about, the McDonald's of the world, the Domino's of the world, the Kentucky Fried Chickens of the world, the Chick-fil-A's, these giant brands, they're like aircraft carriers. And and the emerging brands are more like speedboats. The sales cycle, as you know from Chowly, it's great. If I told you, Sterling, you're going to talk to McDonald's, you can land McDonald's for Chowly, and I don't know how many stores they have, 20,000. I mean, that's super exciting. Like, holy cow, that would be great. The only problem is it might take you 18 months to land that deal, and a lot of time to get that rolled out and implementation. A lot of costs for a small company. Whereas the SMBs, as you know, the guy's got 5 units, that decision making could take, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and you get them onboarded with new products really quick. So having said all that stuff, how do you think it will take to release this new combined product of Koala Chowly to give these SMBs, as you said, the ability to fight above their weight class and have a superior online ordering experience, and really, show that they can compete like with the McDonald's, the Domino's, the Starbucks, etc.
No, it's a great question.
That sounded like Jimmy on that one, huh? That was like a Jimmy question.
I'm so glad you said it. I'm so glad you said it.
Don't worry, I'll get the cliff notes of your question in a few minutes, I'm sure. No, it's a good one, though. It's a good one, though. I mean, look, the way that Chowly likes to operate, once we release a product, we want to move at the speed of SMB, right? These restaurants can't take 18 months to make a decision. They won't last. They have to make quick decisions. They have to implement things quickly. And we have to create a simple experience for them to do that. I mean, look, 10 to 20% of restaurants that sign up with Chowly are literally live the same day. They can sign a contract in the morning, and we can get them live in the afternoon. And we do.
You don't have to say that, Chess. You know what I say to that?
It's breaking news.
I was going to say, boom. That's why I say that. Boom. That's how fast. That's how fast Sterling and Chowly work. Boom. Same day.
Now that's not every restaurant, right? There's certain things that need to be set up, and the restaurant has to be ready for it, and we have to make sure the menus are okay. But 10 to 20% of them are, and that's how quickly we go. And we're working as hard as we can to try to get that number up, hopefully one day to 100%. But at the same point, it takes time.
Can you get higher than that?
Can we get higher than 100%? Well, we're sure as hell going to try, I think. When they sign the contract, I want them to have already been live for 4 hours.
Yeah. Stay out of my lane. Stay out of my lane. Stick with the
restaurant. Told me you can do 110% of restaurants.
Yeah. Stay out of my finance lane.
Okay.
And but it takes a long time to build a process that can do that. When we first started Chowly, you got to remember, no one else was even doing this, partly because the implementation was so difficult. It was taking us weeks to get a single location live, and it took us tens of hours to actually of labor to actually do the work to get it so they could go live. So it takes time to build a process that can move that fast. And so when we think about bringing our combined product to the SMB space, when I say combined product, it's got your first party online ordering that looks, amazing. It's the same kind of experience that you get ordering from a group like Mod Pizza. It's got your third parties. All of your menus are set up. We've got different upcharges in place. Everything's integrated in the point of sale. You've got a data platform that can give your whole digital and off-premise part of your business in one single view. That's a combined product. That one we're not going to rush. We don't need that to be ready today. All right. So the plan is to have that ready by mid-year. So in Q2, so starting in April, we're going to be bringing on some of our most tech-forward restaurateurs, right? A lot of them have been on your show. And they may not be big brands yet, but they're emerging. They're growing quickly.
If they were on this show, those are big brands with big deal CEOs. That's I can tell you. We don't get anybody but the biggest.
Yeah, and the most exciting ones.
Yes.
And so we're going to bring on a handful of brands that meet the right criteria, and we're going to provide them with the product. Actually, this initial one, they're going to get at no charge at all. And then we're going to listen, right? They're going to tell us, hey, I really like this. I don't like this. And that's going to get us the best feedback possible. And then we're going to iterate really quickly. And then we're going to provide that product more for a full release. So we're going to have the most tech-forward restaurateurs, the most exciting emerging concepts really help us build this first product. So we actually, as of this taping, right? We announced 24 hours ago. We literally already have 20 brands that have asked us to be added to a wait list. We didn't even have a wait list when they asked us for it, but they saw the news, right? They understood what this could mean to their business, and they want it. They want this product. And so we're going to be leveraging this wait list. We're going to be getting early adopters on this, get the feedback from them, build a great product. And once we get to the back half of this year, that's when we're going to make this available for general release and really open the floodgates up to the SMB restaurant space.
That is awesome. I really love it. I also love how
I'm the guy answer to a long question, huh?
I'm the guy that gets
if you have shorter questions, I can give you shorter answers.
That's right. That's right. All right, but let's keep playing through. Listen, something I really love about this acquisition, and I'm sorry, Sterling, it's not something that you might say is so, let's say, helpful to Chowly, but what I think you guys just did, this acquisition is a most positive spotlight on a segment of the market, on the emerging tech and innovation space that is admittedly having a pullback, a correction. There's a lot of volatility. There's some doom and gloom out there. And here comes Chowly and Koala bringing a very positive spotlight to an otherwise gloomy financial, environment. And I really think not only do I hope that it brings other early stage companies either looking for capital or maybe looking for coming together. I expect it absolutely will. And I've been talking about 2023 as the year of the consolidation, the year of the M&A activity, because I do believe that with the explosion of software that we've seen, there needs to be coming together because we know the operators want bundled and highly integrated solutions. So for emerging companies to be nimbler, this is a moment they can value what they bring to customers. They can prove themselves worthy, and are they deserving of funding? So my question to you, also a long question, Sterling, is do you believe we're going to see more consolidation, more acquisitions within the tech space, as we roll through 2023?
I think so. I think so. And I think there's a couple, I think there's one major reason why, and then I think there's also important context on what that consolidation actually means. I think the why behind it is the absurd amount of capital that went into startups and went into tech companies over the past few years. I mean, the amount of venture capital and growth equity dollars that just went into building companies. And each of these companies found a problem to solve. Some of these problems small, some of these problems big. And so now that you're in an environment where restaurants might be looking for slightly less vendors. They might be looking for to combine some of them because the food costs and the labor costs and things like that. It makes a lot of sense for some of these niche focuses to kind of pair on with other platforms, and that's going to provide a really great experience to the restaurant. So yeah, I agree 100%. I think we're going to see more M&A in this space this year, and I think not just this year, next year. The timelines on these things are often very long, but what does that actually mean to restaurants? I want to put a word of caution. Acquisitions are not always the answer. Consolidation for consolidation's sense doesn't make sense, right? And it's so easy as an outsider to be like, oh, those two companies should combine. They would be great together. Like, it's easy. And on the surface, for sure. But in reality, very few combinations of companies truly make sense. Mm-hmm. Even if the products mesh together, if the cultures don't, then it's not going to work. The deal terms, which is something that's very rarely in the public, it's really hard to create situations where you have a win-win for both companies.
Well, I got to tell you, speaking of that, Sterling, I just got to interrupt you real quick. We happen to know Brett real well, Brett Spiegel from Koala. He's a New York guy, Brooklyn guy. So I got to tell you, he's a great guy. So I think, I mean, obviously you guys spent some time together before you did this deal, but I can only say that you bring a Brooklyn guy, a New York guy with a Chicago guy. I mean, you're still a Chicago. I know you moved to Colorado, but you're still a Chicago guy. You bring a New York, Brooklyn guy with a Chicago guy, good things are going to happen. Jimbo, am I right?
I think you're right. Just don't argue about who's got the better pizza.
No, we never go.
I know because there is no argument. It's obvious.
Then Colorado, this I can tell you, right?
But yeah, it's obvious that both of us agree Detroit-style pizza is the best.
There you go.
That easy.
There you go. But Brett's a great guy. We've been friends with him for a while. He's been to the B Workspace, many times. So I think you got a great partner there to build this together with.
I do too, and I think that was one of the things that made me excited. All of those things aligned. The missions aligned, the product aligned, the culture aligns, the people aligned, the deal aligned.
You have better hair than Brett, am I right?
Well, Brett
doesn't
have hair.
You were like, you know what? Look how much more hair I have than Brett. We gotta merge because I'm gonna be the good-looking CEO, baby.
I think Sterling has better hair than you, me, and Brett combined. Okay?
Obviously, but at least I have a little hair.
I mean, quantity for sure. Quantity for sure. I mean, I'm bordering on Steve Simone length right now. Yes. So I should get cleaned up.
We'll get you a shears, and we'll take care of that for you the next time we're out. Listen, I want to charge ahead with talking back. We love, clearly, all our listeners know Schatz and I have a good time talking to our friends and our guests on the show, but we also know that sometimes our guests have a question for us. So Sterling, you're a cagey veteran of the podcast. We're going to let you take the mic. You can ask us a question or two, and as we like to say, nothing is off the table. The microphone, Sterling, is yours.
I got a good one for you, and it won't be that long. But if you too, instead of running, restaurants and investments and media conglomerate that you run today, if you two were only running a technology company, what would your titles be? Who would be the CEO? And let me add just one thing. Schatzy, great, the face, right? The marketing CEO that knows everyone, that can schmooze anyone under the table, the expert there. But
I appreciate you have the face. I like that, Jimmy.
But Jimmy's got the finance background, the business acumen, the articulate, kind of TV, charisma.
More than four letters.
Yeah. So I feel like I could see either one. So if you two ran a tech company, what would your titles be and who would be the CEO?
All right, Sterling. Sorry. All right, Schatzy. Go ahead, baby.
I mean, I would always say that Jimmy's a much better CEO than Schatzy would be. He's got the, like you said, I use 4-letter words. He's got like 8, 9, 10-letter words. You know what I mean? So he could definitely default as a great CEO. He is. I think. Yeah.
Can I just to get quick counter to that? The best CEOs simplify complicated messages for their employees, for customers, and for the state.
I would be the CEO. I'm a much better CEO. In that case, it would be me, and Jimmy would take on a different role. He'd be the COO, and I'd be the CEO. I changed my answer now based on what you just said.
I will, Schatzy, I will help carry your bag. I will support you every which way I can, and I will go and try to be a value add to you, sir, and I hope you let me come back to work tomorrow. In our newfound.
Wow. Airline tickets.
Schatzy does all the booking of airline tickets.
Airlines. Who take all reservations?
That's Schatzy. Schatzy takes care of that.
CEO stuff. I don't know what is, Jimbo.
Schatzy, I agree with you, man. If you keep booking my travel, you're the CEO, baby. I like it. I like it a lot.
Listen, so anyway, Jim, are you done with that answer? You just default. I love it. You shut Jimmy up. That's hard to do. That's hard to do.
The guy asked the question, puts me in my place. I got to respect it. Also, he just acquired a company. I got to show respect.
No doubt. Well, listen, I appreciate that. Great question, and I'm sure that you and Brett, you'll figure out titles and who's doing what. But you know what? Titles are not that important. At the end of the day, it's a great acquisition, a great new beginning for you guys, and that's the most important thing. That you're going to create some incredible value for your partners, the restaurant partners, your investors, et cetera. I think that's the most important thing. And I don't know what is your role. What is your title going to be? Did you discuss this? I mean, now that we have it, can we talk about this, or you didn't come up with it?
What, my title?
He's the CEO.
And what's Brett's title?
Gotcha. I mean, my title remains CEO. Of the combined companies, and for now, Brett will remain, the COO of Koala, a Chowly company, just like he is today.
I love it. All right, listen, Sterling, because you've been on the show a lot, you follow us on LinkedIn. You know that every Tuesday we put out a LinkedIn poll where we get hundreds and hundreds of millions of people responding to the poll of just some fun questions that we ask about the hospitality space, food service space. Always ask engaging questions, trying to keep it fun and light. Sometimes they're really intense, sometimes they're light. Right now with Valentine's Day here, and I think it is the largest it's the largest day of the chocolate business. From what I understand from my notes here. Also, I believe the rose business, the flower business, also big flower day, big chocolate day. So we asked over 100 random folks out there. We polled them and asked the question, what is your favorite chocolate brand? So you are going to go against Jimbo. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Get your buzzer ready. Favorite chocolate brand. Go ahead. Jimmy, guess first. Go, Jimbo.
Nestle. Perry, that's for you. Nestle. That's my love.
Jimmy. You know what, Sterling? You have a chance to steal because that is number 3 on the board. You can steal this and bring your family fame and fortune and respect. Who is the number 1 chocolate brand based on 100 billion people, we asked?
Show me Hershey's.
Ding, 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 ding. Jimmy, going right with an American company. He's an American kid. He's from Chicago, moved to Colorado, American guy. Hershey's is the number 1. Jimmy going right over to the Europeans because he spent a lot of time with the European banks, so he's always feeling like he's half European on his dad's side.
Loyalty.
Anyway, and Hershey is number 1, Ferraro number 2, Nestle at number 3, and pulling up the rear there with Cadbury, Mondelez, of course. So there you go. Sterling, a great win for you on your 10th episode. Really proud of you there. Jimbo, next time for you.
Sterling's a winner, but I'm still good with my answer. Listen, at the top of the show, we talked about our 3 facts, okay? 2 are true, 1's a lie. Fact 1, Sterling has won 7 eating challenges, has his picture on several restaurants, so the walls of several restaurants. Fact 2, Sterling has completed 2 Ironman races. And fact 3, at the beginning of every NFL season, Sterling can name the entire 53-man starting roster for the Chicago Bears, the Bears. Shatsy, you care to guess?
I can guess, and I got to tell you, I'm probably right because I know I've spent a lot of time with Sterling all over the globe, and I know for a fact that he is one of those. He can eat. He's like a professional eater. I know we've talked about this.
Yes, he is an all-world eater. He's
a professional eater, so that's true. And I got to tell you, the other 2, I just look at Sterling, and he's never mentioned Iron Man to me. He's never talked about that. Doesn't look very Iron Man-y to me, but I got to tell you, I know that he was an actuary in his prior life. So I just feel like he's got a great knack for remembering and numbers and all that stuff. He's always very detail-oriented. So if I had to guess, I'm saying he was not an Iron Man, but I got to tell you, I could see him knowing the entire Chicago Bears starting, roster. I could see that. That doesn't sound like very.
All right,
very difficult for a guy like that.
You made your guess, Sterling. Let you give the answer to our audience.
Shatsy is correct.
Correct, sir. Ding.
He's too skinny being Iron Man.
Now, let me qualify that. I did run my first triathlon last year. So
nice.
Yes. We're doing triathlons all the time.
I gotta work my way up. I can't just wake up, roll out of bed,
you want to step up to the big leagues, and Jimmy and I will join you on an Ironman.
Yes. A couple years from now, by the way. A couple years from now, all 3 of those, you've heard it here first. In a couple years, all 3 of those facts will be true. They'll all be true.
Goal. That's the goal.
I like it. I like it a lot. So, Shatsy, are we done? We have nothing left, right? I mean, what else could be left on a podcast?
On Valentine's Day, a special love fest. You got to go right into the Brandon Quickfire Valentine's Day edition, Jimmy. I just think it's so it's the right time. It's the right thing to do. Sterling celebrating his 10th time on the podcast, the Hospitality Hangout. It's our 112th episode, I believe. It's Valentine's Day. Jimmy, you look lovely. Sterling, lovely. Sterling, are you ready? Branded Quickfire, Valentine's Edition. Are you ready? 5 lightning round questions.
Let's go.
Okay, you've done this before. You know how it works. As you know, it is the most popular segment, not of just our podcast, but of all podcasts around the entire globe. That is just come in from Nielsen ratings, just reported today. Over 100 billion people love this.
Yes.
Favorite culinary aphrodisiac, oysters or chocolate?
I like oysters better, but as an aphrodisiac, chocolate.
Valentine's Day dinner, takeout or go out?
Oh, go out.
A rookie move. What is your romantic date night destination?
A nice restaurant. Like my wife and I are big foodies, and when I'm not doing eating challenges at restaurants, I love to try different places. So
I love it.
Whether it's romantic or plutonic, I'm always want to enjoy time in the hospitality space.
Favorite place to travel?
Oh man, anywhere where there are mountains.
Nice.
Who doesn't love a mountain more than Jimmy? If you were to challenge Jimmy or I to a game of hearts, would you have better odds of beating? Game of hearts, the old card game, Jimmy. I like spades better than hearts. I don't even know what the difference is, but hearts.
By that comment alone, I think you might have just suggested which way Sterling should go.
I think we all know which way Sterling has gone every time.
I was going to say, I've gotten a question just like this in Quickfire, like every time I've been on the show. And only one time have I chosen that I think I could beat Jimmy at something over Schatzy.
You could beat Jimmy in hearts?
Nah, I definitely would rather play you, Schatzy.
But could you beat just Jimmy good at hearts? I don't even know if Jimmy's good at hearts. Jimmy, are you a heart player?
I'm a cards player. I'm good at hearts. Good at spades too.
I'll just try to shoot the moon every single time.
Game
go
on
big or go home.
Go big or go home.
I'm bringing my deck of cards. Sterling, you're gonna be at Murtec?
I'm sure I'll be around. It's in Vegas.
Right, it's in Vegas. So I'm going to bring my deck of cards. Or actually, I think they have cards in Vegas. Jimmy, am I right?
Yeah, I think they might have a few sets of cards. We could find.
Okay, so we're going to find cards, and we're going to go check this out over there. Okay, it was awesome.
Listen, Sterling, we want to thank you so much for joining us today on the Hangout, for all your great insights. We appreciate the hard work that you and your team do for the industry, not during this time, but ever since we've known you. You've been a great friend and an ally to operators. And sincerely, congratulations on the acquisition of Koala. That is awesome. If you want to get in touch with Sterling directly, you can email the podcast team at podcast@brandedstrategic.com. We'd be happy to make the introduction. To our listeners, we always want to make sure we're thanking you for tuning in with us. We love that our subscriber base continues to soar, and we know that that's only thanks to the great guests we have, such as Sterling today, but also you guys continue to support and work with us, so that is awesome. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any of the exciting guests we have coming up in the future, and better yet, invite a friend to hang out with us the next time. So this is Jimmy Frischling, your finance guy, expressing great appreciation and gratitude to our friend and partner, Mr. Douglas, and now I'm going to pass it back to my boy, Schatzy.
All right, Jimbo, thanks for that. Little housekeeping. Sterling, Chowly.com. Am I correct? For
That's
everyone listening, go check out Chowly.com. And if you're not currently using Chowly, you should. As Jimmy said, check out the podcast. It's where all your favorite podcasts are, Hospitality Hangout. Don't know if you're getting our newsletter, but we have a fantastic Weekend Update newsletter. It comes out every Saturday morning. I got to tell you, it is just some of the most incredible information in I'd like to say it's a short read, but Jimmy writes most of it, so it's not a short read. It's a long read.
Short.
It's kind of like War and Peace in a newsletter version. But you don't have to read it all. But I got to tell you, a lot of really great nuggets of information, as Jimmy likes to say. So that is Jimmy. How do you get that? Is it the weekendupdate.com? How do you get sign up for that?
You go to our website. You can sign up for the Branded Weekend Update.
Jimmy's got no idea to sign up for the weekend update.
You go to LinkedIn. Go to the Branded Weekend Update. You have two sources: our website, or you can go to LinkedIn. Either way, you end up at the Branded Weekend Update. I appreciate the shout out. 116 episodes. I don't think you've ever.
A couple weeks ago,
you've ever given a shout out.
I got to tell you, you know what? No one ever told me to. I follow the script, Jimmy. I follow the script. No one tells me to do it. Don't do it. But I got to tell you, great Seinfeld references last week or 2 weeks ago. Awesome stuff. Check out that. And then last but not least, Jimmy, I must say Boom.store. If you haven't went to the Boom Marketplace, check it out. Not only is Chowly there, but hundreds and hundreds of other great solutions are there. So listen, Chatsy, Restaurant Guy signing off. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, Sterling.
Thanks, everybody.